What's up guys, Spencer Rhodes here, and this is my video about Carl Grimes and whether or not it's possible that he could somehow survive the zombie bite that he got, whether he will survive episode 9 that comes out at the end of February, and if this is all just a hoax and Carl Grimes is staying on the show and he's getting the rest of his comic story and that he will continue to live. Because I've seen some people actually ask this and theorize about this and wonder, well, could Carl possibly survive? Is this just another Glenn in the dumpster, under the dumpster situation? Could Carl survive? And the short answer is no. Carl cannot survive. Everything is stacked against it. There have been no reported sightings of the actor for months and months and months. His death was theorized like 6-7 months ago because people that were, keeping tabs on spoilers and seeing he was filming, he was still around, they never saw the actor that played Carl past episode 8 or episode 9. Past that, he hasn't been seen filming at all. And, everyone has pretty much come out and said that Carl dies. Scott Gimple has come out and said Carl is dying. There's Chandler Riggs has talked about it. Chandler Riggs' dad has talked about it. In episode 6, we saw Carl get the bite, and in episode 8, well, it was kind of off screen, but we saw it we kind of saw it. We didn't actually see the bite on his side, but we saw how it happened. We saw the walker. We saw Carl's response to it. And in episode 8, he reveals the bite, and he's really sick, and he's pale, and his eyes are purple, and it's obvious that he's infected. He's turning. It's only going to be a matter of hours, maybe 24 hours tops, until he dies and he turns. Probably sooner than that. So overall, there's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever, and I'm not saying this to upset anyone or make fun of someone. I understand. If you're a big Carl fan, I understand wanting to hold on to hope. Trust me, I was there when Abraham happened, when there were all the rumors about Abraham dying, even when there was no possibility, not possibility, but when there was no confirmation that Abraham and Glenn were the ones that got the bat. After season 6, after the finale, a lot of people thought it was Abraham, just from the POV shot when he lifts his head up. A lot of people were like, oh, that's Abraham. Everyone was thinking Abraham was going to die. Abraham was going to die. And I kept being like, no, fuck that. No, absolutely not. Anyone but Abraham. He's my favorite. No. And then it was confirmed that Abraham was picked first and then Glenn was picked, months and months ahead of the actual premiere of the season 7 episode where they both die. And I was still in denial. I was still just desperately holding on to the tiniest thread of hope, even though it was like 100% confirmed. He wasn't seen filming. Everyone pretty much knew he was dead. It was basically a confirmed spoiler. And I was still like, no, Abraham is going to survive. Abraham is going to survive. Because he was my favorite character in the show. And, his death, I don't know if it was the fact that he died or the fact that the show got worse after he died, but that really changed my relationship with the show. And, I still watch it, but I haven't recovered. So I understand. If you're a big Carl Grimes fan, if Carl is your favorite character, or if you're just, a fan of his comic story, and if you feel like this is bullshit, and you want to hold on to any thread of hope whatsoever, trust me, I understand. But it really is hopeless. At this point, it really is hopeless. A few months ago, I would have said differently. I would have said maybe he has a chance of making it. It's Carl Grimes. They're not going to kill him off. If the actor wants to leave, they would just have him leave or have him be in less episodes or something, or have him go somewhere far away or something like that. They wouldn't kill Carl Grimes off. But now, with the episode, with him being sick, with him being bitten, with all the interviews of Scott Gimple and Chandler Riggs, and all the information we have, it's a done deal. He's dead. He's gone. It's unfortunate, and, I think it's just another nail in the coffin for the show. I think the show has fallen apart. Season 8 has been really weak. season 7 was weak, but season 8 was more weak, and I feel like the show has just, it's gotten to where it can't recover. Killing off Carl, yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest TV Carl fan. I like comic Carl more than TV Carl. But, I mean, just for all the comic fans, and I'm a comic fan, you know, I just think it's a shame because they're doing so many things with him as far as adapting his comic material. He lost his eye. He went to Negan's outpost, gunned down a bunch of Sabers. He had that relationship with Negan when Negan made him sing a song. You know, they took so much comic material and brought it to the show with Carl's character. And it just didn't seem like they were setting up his death. The only time they have set up his death was season 8, was the first episode. And maybe the end of season 7 where Negan says, I'm going to kill Carl, and Rick says, okay, do it, and pretty much. You know, you could argue that maybe they were setting it up a little bit, but I kind of feel like they didn't know by then. They weren't sure that Carl was going to die, and there's still some information we don't know in regards to why and how and who made the final decision, because it seems like Chandler Riggs did not want to leave the show in season 8. It seemed like he wanted to stay in season 9. He's pretty much said that it wasn't his decision to leave the show. So it might be, it's between Scott Gimple and AMC, or it is Chandler Riggs and they're just lying about it. Who the fuck knows? I mean, I hope we get more information, but as far as Carl being dead, yeah, he's dead. And like I said, you know, with the stuff that they were doing with him in season 6 and season 7, they really set him up as someone who was not going to die. It was not until really season 8, in the first episode, where, you know, he's talking to Siddiq and he tries to help Siddiq, and then Rick fires a gunshot and Siddiq runs, and Carl's like, it's not enough to hope, you have to help people. In The Walking Dead, literally no good deed goes unpunished. I think we can all agree on that. Any kind of moral upbringing, any kind of doing the right thing attitude, you know, any kind of high morale epiphany gets you killed faster than the blink of an eye. Tyrese, Herschel, fucking Glenn. I mean, Glenn was always doing the right thing, and look what happened to him, you know. Doing the right thing, you know, having a moral, you know, a change in morale, you know, doing the morally good thing, it gets you killed on The Walking Dead. So with that, they were setting it up in season 8. They've been setting it up since the first episode of season 8. So the writers and producers were planning for Carl's death since at least before the first episode of season 8, because that's why they did the whole thing with Siddiq and with Carl trying to do the right thing and telling Rick off. And then we even had that little scene with Rick red-eyed, and, you know, I think that's going to have something to do with Carl's death. I think that's why it's in there. I was hoping that the whole thing with Rick with the gray hair and the big beard and the walking cane, I was hoping that would be a flash forward, but it's obvious that it's just in his imagination. It's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because it's a good thing because Rick looked like shit. Rick looked like a 70-year-old man. I mean, I like Rick in the comics with his limp and everything, but I don't know if I would want to see that in the show. I think at this point, the only good thing possibly that came out of this is that Rick is staying the main character in full force, no limp, no walking cane, no god-awful 60-year-old man, gray hair bullshit. Rick Grimes is going to stay Rick Grimes. And I'm a big Andrew Lincoln fan. I feel like Rick's writing has gotten really bad, but I do love watching Andrew Lincoln almost regardless of how much of an asshole his character becomes. So that's kind of good, but, you know, like I said, they've been setting up. They've been setting up Carl's death since the first episode of season 8. So they at least knew that far ahead. I don't know about the ending of season 7 or season 7 in general. I don't know if they were planning on killing Carl, if they were setting it up. It seems to me like they weren't setting it up. But with season 8, episode 1, they were setting it up. You know, like I said, the flash forwards, or the, I guess they're not flash forwards now, you know, Carl wanting to do the right thing with Siddiq, and just the whole going back and forth in time. All these things are sort of setting up Carl's death. So they've been setting it up since the start of this season. So yeah, it's just a done deal. He's bitten. You saw him in episode 8. He's sick, he's sweating, he's pale, he's dying. You know, he is dying. He is bitten. It's just the damage is done. Carl is going to die. So I give out my fullest sympathies to those of you that are really big Carl fans. Those of you that are in denial, I completely understand. Don't let anyone make fun of you. It's not wrong to hold on to hope, but I'm just being honest. Carl is dead and Carl's gone. You know, the only thing I can really offer is that he's still alive in the comics. If you're a big Carl Grimes fan, his story's not over in a way. He's still kicking in the comics. He's probably never going to die in the comics. He probably really truly will be the last man standing in the comics. So at least Carl lives on in a way, you know. So if you're a really big Carl fan and you're really disappointed, I understand, but there's nothing that can be done about it. I mean, like I said, I think the show has just gone downhill and it's become a colossal mess that at this point is just irreversible and can't be fixed. And Carl's dead. It's just there's no way around it. He's gone. He's going to die in episode 9. But he's still alive in the comics. So if you really, really love Carl, at least you got the comics. I would just focus on that. Focus on the positives. That's all that life's about. Focusing on the positives, even when it's difficult. Anyway, guys, those are just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. We are continuing to expand our community. I have the old channel, but I'm pretty much done with that. I'm only going to make a few videos onto that channel. Like if I want to use music or something like copyrighted music, I'll put that on the old channel. This channel will be the one where all the new content, most of the new content will go to. Most of my Walking Dead videos are going to go here. We have a lot of things, a lot of things that we're going to do, a lot of plans. 2018 is going to be a crazy, busy, exciting year for me, for this channel, and I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to do so many different things. I'm going to experiment in a lot of different ways. We're going to find out what works, find out what doesn't work. Going to do video game playthroughs, going to make some independent films. I might make a comic. I have a bunch of ideas, and I have some plans, but I got to organize them a little more. So if you have not subscribed already, I hope that you do so. Just any kind of support, if a like, a comment, a view, a subscription, any kind of support is greatly appreciated. Right now we are at 17 subscribers. My first goal is 250. So let's just continue to expand that army. Anyway, I'm Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.